If you're planning a European river cruise or any trip to Europe for that matter in 2026 and beyond, there are three new entry systems that you need to understand. Two of them are live now and causing a little bit of confusion at some airports, and another one is coming on later this year. And scam websites are already trying to take your money for the one that doesn't even exist yet. So I'm going to break down all three of these so you know exactly what to expect. Hello, my name is William. I'm with River Cruise Experts. I help travelers find the right river cruise for them and make sure that every detail is handled so that you can focus on the experience and not just the logistics. My wife Shelley is also a travel advisor, has been in the industry for 25 years. She works with the luxury ocean liners as well as luxury land trips. So either way, we've got you covered. So the first one that we're going to start with is the EES. It stands for the Entry-Exit System. This is live now. It just went into effect in spring of 2026, so this is rather recent compared to the filming of this video. It is causing a little bit of confusion around some airports, but it's quickly getting much better. It is a biometric system, so it's going to replace the passport stamps. The way that it works is you're going to walk up to a kiosk with your passport. You're going to place your passport face down with the picture open. It's going to take a scan of that. It's also going to take a picture of your face. There's the biometric piece. And you're also going to do some fingerprint scans. The purpose behind this is just to help the European Union track who is in the Schengen zone for a period of time. So the Schengen zone is made up of 29 European Union countries. So France, Germany, Amsterdam, and the Netherlands, Italy, all of these major countries are a part of the Schengen system. So the countries that are not in the EU or in the Schengen area are small countries like Montenegro and a few others over in mostly Eastern Europe and southeastern areas, but your major countries are going to be included in that. What the entry-exit system does is it helps them monitor to make sure that guests don't overstay their travel authorization or the visa limit. When you come into the European Union, they used to stamp your passport with a rubber ink stamp, and that just basically told them that you had 90 days to stay inside of the European Union, but you're free to move around about the different countries. So you can start in France, move over to Germany, and you don't have to go through any kind of a passport control. So this is really making everything a lot more simple for people to traverse around Europe and not have to go through any kind of a border control process. The extra benefits to it, and the reason why it got put into place, is people were overstaying their 90-day travel authorization or the visa period, is that the exit system is also in place. So the entry-exit system, as you leave out of the European Union, typically at the airport, you're going to go through the kiosk once again in order to exit. It's again going to scan your passport, take a photo of your face, and compare that to the amount of time when you checked in to make sure you didn't overstay your time. The fines are quite substantial, so it's not something that you would want to violate. And most river cruises are only going over for 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks at a time anyway, so it really is not going to impact them, but it's certainly a measure that the EU needs to take in order to protect themselves of people not overstaying their time period. So you may have seen some nightmare headlines of super long connection times. People are flying into Paris in order to get to their final destination in, say, Budapest, and Paris just happens to be their layover city, their layover airport. When you first arrive inside of the EU, that's when you're going to go through this process. So it's not going to wait until you get to Budapest. It's the first entry point into Europe. So you would have to make sure that you have enough time with your flights in order to be able to manage that process and get on to your connecting flight to get on over to Budapest or wherever you might be going. So that's how that piece of the puzzle works. That's where the risks are coming into play, people not having enough time in their layover to be able to manage that process. Now, the next piece of puzzle that's coming into play is the ETIAS. It's not yet live. It doesn't go into effect until the fourth quarter of 2026. So we're talking October, November, December of 2026. It's been delayed 5 times already. They've been trying to get this put in since 2021, 2023, and it just keeps getting delayed, much like the Real ID happened for the USA. Not too big of a surprise. The ETIAS is going to be about a $20 euro, sorry, not dollars, but euros. You're going to apply for it online. It's valid for 3 years, but there's going to be a 6-month grace period from the time that it goes into play. So if you're planning a trip right now and you're not going to leave until the very end of December 2026, It could very well be in effect by that point in time. It's not in effect as of the time of this video, so don't go looking for it yet. We're going to talk about that here in just a moment, but it's something that you definitely want to take into consideration. Know that it may come up and be in existence before your departure. You definitely want to pay attention to your professional travel advisor to make sure you're getting the most up-to-date information on this. It's something that we do help all of our clients with, and we're monitoring and waiting for any new releases to come out to let those folks know about something that's coming up. Now, let's talk about the scams. As I mentioned to you a little bit earlier in the intro, there are a bunch of scam websites that are already out there that are already trying to sell you the ETIAS travel authorization. If you find it online, it's a scam. It's not available yet. There is some conversation about it on the EU website, and I'm going to share that website with you in the description below, but it only ends with Europa, EUROPA.eu is the only official website. If you find anything else, it's a scam. If it's more than 20 euros, it's a scam. So I've seen a lot of scam websites. People are sending me over and saying, I need to get this right now. It's 50 euros and I just need to get the process done. And I put a pause on and I let them know that's certainly not available yet. Don't jump ahead. Don't get too far out in advance. I will let you know when you do need to take some action. So just be very wary of the scam websites because they're prolific and they're all over the place. A lot of them are being shared in social media. So if you're excited about your trip, you jump into some of the fan pages for the different river cruise brands. You're going to see some conversations about it and some people that are just pushing it saying it's live now, you need to go get it now. Well, those are sometimes scammers that are trying to push that out. So the third one that we're going to talk about that I mentioned to you in the introduction is the UK ETA. This stands for the Electronic Travel Authorization. It only applies to people that are going to actually be staying inside of the UK. The UK and the EU are different places. The EU is Europe for the 29 countries inside of the Schengen zone. The UK is going to be a different set of countries. So we're talking about Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales, England, if you're flying into London, something of that nature, and extending your trip. Or if you're doing an ocean cruise and you're going to be spending some time inside of England, for example, this is going to be something that you would want to take into consideration to make sure that you have for your trip. If you're merely flying to Europe and landing in London for a layover, this is not going to impact you. When it first came out, the very first few days the ETA was in place, they were requiring everybody, even if they were just merely doing a transfer layover inside of the airport, they were requiring that of passengers. Within a couple of weeks, they took that away. If you do need an ETA for your visit to the UK, the fee's running right around £20 per person. It's valid for a couple of years, and it's good for multiple trips. It only takes a couple of minutes. My wife and I got hours, and it was a very simple process, scanning our passport and getting that added on, and it's now good for as many times as we want to visit the UK within a couple of years. To go back on to the ETIAS that I mentioned earlier, that one is running 20 euros. That's the current pricing as of the time of this video. It is valid for 3 years, and it's going to be valid with your passport. It's electronically attached to your passport, so you're not going to get anything in the mail. Nothing's going to be attached to your passport. It's just going to be electronically attached to your passport. So know that you're not expecting something there for that. The same with the EES. So in the old days of going through passport control and having a rubber stamp on your passport, that part does not exist any longer, so you won't be getting those famous passport stamps. My wife tries to fill up her passport with the stamps from all over the world, and that part of the process is kind of going away, so she's quite bummed about that. If you'd like, I'd be more than happy to share a very lengthy document that kind of goes through all of these different systems. It's live with the utmost information as of the time of this video. If you want to send me an email, my email is located in the description down below. I'd be more than happy to send you over this document. It was updated most recently here in April 2026, the time that we're shooting this video. By the way, navigating stuff like this is exactly why working with a professional travel advisor matters. I stay on top of every one of these details for my clients so that you don't have to. If you'd like some help planning your European river cruise, there's a link in the description. I'd be happy to set up a time to visit with me. So that's what you need to know about traveling in Europe in 2026 and beyond. The new systems are very manageable. Don't let it scare you. Don't let the headlines deter you away from traveling to Europe. Still an exceptional experience, one that everybody should definitely take advantage of. If you found this information helpful, I'd appreciate a like or a subscribe. I do put out new videos regularly about river cruising and some independent travel tips and how to get the best deals. And if you are planning a European river cruise and would like some personal help, visit rivercruiseexperts.com. I work with every one of my clients directly, so you'll get the real answers on your schedule, not just visiting with a call center. Additionally, we offer some exclusive perks and onboard credits to our clients that you simply cannot get by booking direct. The link again is down in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Feel free to drop your questions in the comments. I will read each one and reply when I get a moment. Thanks for watching.